Before we start the video, I just want to say this is probably one of the longest video on my channel. Honestly, I tried cutting it down as much as I could, but I just could not. So I put all of the time frames in the comment section, so check it out. And of course, grab a snack, grab a drink, and just chill and relax and get yourself comfortable because this video is gonna be long, okay? Long. Hey diverse beauties, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new around here, hey, I'm Sandy. I make beauty content. I said it right this time on my channel, so don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button so you guys are notified whenever I upload a video, and of course go hit me up on my Instagram and other social medias. Everything will be in the description. Of course, like many of us, we basically have nothing to do except just stay home, and so throughout 2020 I've been using a ton of different skincare products and just trying to figure out what is the best for my skin type and what I could recommend for others as well. So throughout this video, I wanted to be a little bit different where I basically share with you guys, of course, my empties of 2020, but out of the empties, I will pinpoint the ones that I feel like are the best of skincare of 2020. Now, of course, there are so many products that I really love and definitely want to share with you guys, so I will be making separate videos of just specific things. For example, best cleansers of 2020, best toners of 2020, but throughout this video I will just give you one that is my favorite among my empties. Okay, look at this massive amount of empties. I'm not kidding. I've been collecting these probably all year. So these are products that I kind of like or don't like. I don't know if I can pick this up with one hand. Nope, I can't. But I definitely want to share with you guys some of my 2020 favorites and give you kind of like a reward system, like best cleanser, blah blah blah. But yeah, let's check these out. Let's start off with my cleansers. These are all of the cleansers that I've used throughout the year. I have a ton of cleansers in my bathroom actually right now that I won't be showing you in this video, but these are just the ones that I've used. First of all, let's start off with Neogen. Now, Neogen cleansing water is a pretty like simple basic cleansing water, and I feel like a lot of cleansers don't get enough rep. They work super well, just like a cleansing balm or a regular oil cleanser, but this is definitely more recommended for people, I think, in my personal opinion, that don't use a lot of makeup but still want to remove some sunscreen off as well as basic makeup. Then we have here Crave Beauty Matcha Hemp Hydrating Cleanser, and you guys know about this already. I've talked about it on my channel before, and I think I still kind of have the same opinion as when I first reviewed it. It's a great basic cleanser and the texture is amazing, but I just feel like it's not for me entirely, just because I didn't feel like it cleanse my face as much as I wanted it to, but it's still a really decent cleanser. Then we also have this cleanser right here, and it is the Troiareuke Oil Cut Cleansing. Now, I've talked about this in my fall skincare video. I think it's a really decent cleanser, especially if you want to use a cleanser for both your first and second step. I think like it's a great cleanser if you're lazy, okay? But it's also a line focus for acne prone skin. But it is a very expensive cleanser, not gonna lie. So I actually use a full size, and I'm currently finishing up the small size. We also have the Troiareuke Creamy Bubble Foam Cleanser, and I actually already talked about this as well on my channel, both on my channel and my blog. But I really love this foam cleanser because it was such a like silky creamy texture, and it helped remove my makeup quite easily, especially as my second step. And I used this in correlation with the Urang natural cleansing oil, and using both of these were very effective. Just like I said in my blog post and on my channel, this cleanser I felt like did really well, removing pretty much all of my makeup except very hardcore waterproof mascara. So that's something to consider if you use a lot of like waterproof makeup. Now, if you prefer using like a eye makeup or lip makeup remover, then I would definitely recommend using this one, which is the Jung Essential Lip and Eye Makeup Remover. This one is actually a more luxe, more luxurious brand, and they are well known, especially in like the makeup world in Korea, since the founder of this brand is actually a very well-known makeup artist. But I actually really love this, and I ended up buying another one, but I think they don't sell this specific one anymore, so I just bought kind of like a renewed version of it. We also have the Iunik Centella Bubble Cleansing Foam, and this is actually a very gentle cleansing foam, and it's great because this brand tends to not use a lot of fragrances or essential oils, so if your skin is sensitive to those things, then this is a good brand to consider. Now, my skin is okay with some fragrance as well as with essential oils, so I didn't feel like this one was like extremely special for me. It was decent, but it wasn't like anything that made me feel like shocked or surprised. But I think I would recommend it, especially for teenagers or for people who are just starting off with skincare. And I also have this cleansing oil from Bifesta. This is actually a Japanese brand, and I really love this cleansing oil. This is actually one of the cleansing oil, I totally know how to talk. This is actually one of the cleansing oils that kind of made me love cleansing oils. I was always very skeptical about cleansing oils, and I thought that it wouldn't work for me, but actually my skin loves cleansing oils, so this was a pretty much kind of a product that I always like to go back to, and yeah, I really enjoy this one. Now, if you're into more cleansing balms, then I have here, this is the Farmacy Green Clean Makeup Melt Away Cleansing Balm, and this is actually a cleansing balm that I kind of picked up out of the whim. I didn't even think about picking up, and I fell in love with it. It's such a beautiful texture. I know a lot of people tend to kind of be a little bit hesitant about this brand just because they do use some fragrances and stuff, but I was really in love with it. Now, I do have a little bit of left just because I want to like make a blog post about it, but I really love this cleansing oil, and it melted my makeup super fast. And I also felt like I didn't have to tug my skin when I was using this cleansing balm, so highly recommend it if you're looking for a cleansing balm to try out. And we also have the Beauty of Joseon, which is a kind of like a Joseon Dynasty inspired skincare brand. So they use a lot of products and ingredients that noble women would use back in the days, and it's a really interesting brand. I actually really enjoy this cleansing balm. Now, I would have to say that it could be a little bit drying during the winter time if you have very dry skin, but overall it's a great cleanser for like normal, combination, and oily skin, and I really enjoyed it a lot. I think I used it all up actually, but yeah, it was a great, yes, I used it all up. It was a really good cleansing balm, and I was really impressed by this brand. I never really used much from this brand until I started using their cleansing products, and I fell in love. So if I had to basically choose one of my favorite out of the Empties, I think it would go to the Creamy Bubble Foam Cleanser from Urang. I actually really love this as my second step, and I don't know, it was just so moussey, so smooth, so silky. I really love that feeling of this cleanser, and it was very gentle as well, so it worked perfectly for my skin. And if I had to choose a oil cleanser for my first step, it would be ta-da! Farmacy cleanser. This is the Green Clean Farmacy Balm Cleanser. Love this thing. It worked super well for my skin, and it didn't give me that like oil residue. I hate that. I really hate that oil residue that certain oil cleansers kind of leave behind, but this one was perfect. I really loved it. Next, let's go with our toners. These are so many toners in here. Honestly, I've way too many. I've used so many toners, and I still have a lot more in my skincare stash that I'm currently using. Oh my god, it's crazy. Like, it's a struggle testing so many skincare with only one face, but it's okay because I'm very grateful about every opportunity that I get. But let me share with you guys some of the toners that I've used in 2020. Early in the year, I used Hanyul, and Hanyul is a little bit more of an expensive Korean brand, but this one is from their Artemisia Miracle Relief Essence, and basically this is another word for, I believe, mugwort. And mugwort is a skincare ingredient that started to kind of get a lot of fame and rave throughout the year. So a ton of skincare brands came out with mugwort skincare. It's a great ingredient for cooling and relieving your skin, especially from irritation, sunburn, or just redness in general. So I really enjoyed using mugwort in my skincare. Now I still have a little bit of left in here just because I needed to use other skincare up. We're in the topic of basically cooling and relieving your skin from irritation. I actually really like this one from Vichy Cosmetic. This is from their Cica Care line, and as you guys know, I really enjoy using Cica. It's a great ingredient for just a lot of things, actually, with relieving your skin, with calming your skin, with healing your skin, and it really helped a lot with as well as hydration. And I really enjoy using this whenever my skin just breaks out a lot, and as you could tell, like, it's pretty much all gone, and I was so sad when I finished this up because it was such a great toner. If you guys were a long-time subscriber or diverse beauty, you will totally know about this one. This is the Klairs Supple Preparation Facial Toner. This is literally like one of the most like popular toners of Korean skincare like world. Pretty much anyone who uses Korean skincare probably used this at one point in their skincare journey. Personally, I was obsessed with it back in like what, 2017, I would say 2016, but I definitely moved on from this. I used it once and then I kind of was like, it's okay, it's not really what I'm looking for in a toner now. But yeah, honestly, there's total throwback. I also used up this Panobagi Milk Thistle Repair Toner. Now, Panobagi is actually a plastic surgery clinic as well as a dermatology clinic in Korea. They're very well known, especially among like foreign customers, like clients, and as well as a lot of like Korea-based YouTubers. I was introduced to their skincare line when I went to an event, and I honestly fell in love with their sunscreen, and of course the toner was no different. I really enjoy their toner for dry skin. It's really hydrating, thin formula. As you could tell, it's super watery, but it really worked well for like hydrating my skin, moisturizing it, and just prepping my skin for the next step in my routine. And I honestly highly recommend you check out this brand. It is a skincare plastic surgery clinic, so I feel like they kind of should know what they're doing. I hope. But yeah, this was actually a really good toner as well. So if you're focused on more hydrating, moisturizing type of toners, then I would recommend a hyaluronic based toner such as this one, which is the Iope Hyaluronic Softener. Softener is another word for a toner, but this one was actually a really good like hyaluronic based toner, as well as the Isntree one. Now the Isntree, I feel like, is a really good brand for fragrance free products, as well as for using a lot more like beneficial ingredients. Now this one is mostly known amongst the online community based on the Iope one, which is kind of, I feel like Iope is like the more old OG kind of brand, whereas Isntree is more of like the trendy, like youthful brand, if that makes sense. But I really love this one a lot as well. This one is very different from the Iope one because it is a little bit of a thicker formula. Like in the container, of course, it looks like it's very fluid, very watery, but it's actually a little bit thicker. And so I really enjoyed using this in like the winter seasons, like colder seasons, like in the early year of January, between January and March. But I really recommend this one as well if you're looking for a more hyaluronic based toner. And then we have our last two toners that I really thought were super special because the formula of them almost reminded me of a serum, which I felt like kind of had like a purpose benefit from it. So first we have the Hydrating Deeply Control Balancing Toner. Now this toner is actually really beneficial if you have combination or oily skin, because it focuses on basically keratin control, which is like aka your oils and your pores and all that stuff, like the natural like sebum of your skin. But I thought that was really interesting, and it also has like exfoliation properties with AHA and BHA. So I really enjoyed this. At first I was a little bit like hesitant, just because sometimes AHAs don't work very well for my skin type, but this was actually really surprising, and it worked really well. I feel like this brand tends to have a lot of good like products, and I definitely want to try more of their skincare. And another toner that kind of reminded me of a serum would be these Unbound Lab 7 Moisture Soothing Toner. Now, Unbound Lab is actually a more indie brand, so they don't have a lot of products out. I think they only have like 3 or 4 products. But I bought this toner when they only had literally 2 products in their whole entire brand, which was the toner as well as like a cleansing pad. But this toner is actually really good, and as you could tell, it's a very thick formula as well. So I felt like it was super hydrating and beneficial for like winter or cold season when your skin is really dry. Now, if you have oily or combination skin, I'm not entirely sure if it would work out for you, but I mean, give it a try and hopefully it works out for you. So if I had to choose my favorite toner out of my empties for 2020, it would be Hydrating Deeply Controlled Balancing Toner. I don't know, there is something about this toner that was just perfect for my skin. Like the texture of it, the ingredients, how it felt on my skin, how hydrating and moisturizing it was, and my skin just looked amazing using this toner as well. I know that there's a lot of opinions behind, is a toner necessary in a skincare routine, but personally for my skin, I really enjoy using toners. Let's go to our serums. Now, I did separate serums and ampoules just because they are different. There are similarities, of course, but I do categorize them differently. So yeah, first we'll do our serums. So as you can see, my serums are probably very familiar to you because I already did a detailed video about a lot of these serums, as well as I talked about them in other videos. So first, of course, we have the Troiareuke AC Collection Blemish Spot Clearing Serum. Now, I already talked about this in my fall skincare video, so check it out, but I actually have a little bit left still just because I do want to talk about it in my blog where I explain the ingredients a lot more in detail. Now, one of the reasons why I love this serum so much is because it has helped my acne so much, and it actually has one of the main ingredients is actually propolis, so it's worked so well for my skin, and I'm so sad that I only have a little bit of it left. So I definitely will probably restock on this serum because it just worked so well for me. But our next serum would be the Calm Leave Skin Relief Fresh Serum, and this is actually an oldie. I've talked about this maybe a year or 2 years ago on my channel, but I just never really had the chance to kind of finish it until this year, and it's actually a really good like calming type of serum. So if you do have a lot of irritation, or your skin gets red very easily, or even just in general you suffer from acne, probably this would be a good serum just to kind of relax and cool down your skin. Now, they have renewed their packaging, so this is their old packaging, just if you're curious. Now, we have these two next, and I'm not really going to go into details about these because I already talked about them in a separate video, but they're basically really good vitamin C based serums. Now, this one is actually, the Micellar one is actually a vegan brand, so if you're mostly focused on using vegan skincare, then this would be a good brand to check out, especially if you want to go into K-beauty. But yeah, this one basically is a vitamin C based serum, as well as the Jumiso one, but the Jumisa one does also contain other vitamins such as vitamin E, which is great for anti-aging. So if you're looking for something that not only helps with brightening but also with anti-aging purposes, then this would be a good serum to check out. But definitely check out my video that I talked about my favorite serums for hyperpigmentation and dark spots. Of course, this one is another one that I talked about in my hyperpigmentation video. This is the XSY Dark Spot Correcting Glow Serum, and I actually really love this serum. It has like a very calming, almost gel-like texture. So if you're looking for another serum but it's not necessarily vitamin C, this would be a good serum to check out for hyperpigmentation. But don't forget to check out the other video that I've already posted, so I'll put like a little card for you guys to check out. If you tend to kind of focus more on hydration and dullness, then this would be another really good hyaluronic based serum. So this one is actually, I've already talked about this on my channel as well. I've had this for a while and I finally got to finish it. I had to struggle to finish this because I had so many serums to kind of try out, but this one is a really good hydrating type of serum just because it does contain hyaluronic capsules in it. Now it did make my skin look really glowy and hydrated, and it made my skin look a little bit more alive, but it didn't necessarily brighten my skin. So if you're looking for brightening, this wouldn't be it, but it would still work out if you have a bit of a dull skin, just because that glow effect that it has is very, very beautiful. And then we have this one, which is the Dr. Panobagi Alpha Radiance Serum, and I wanted to talk about this in my serum video that I posted a while back, but I didn't have the opportunity just because there's so much that I need to talk about this serum, just because it's just so special on its own. So I almost dropped it. So I definitely want to do like a separate video of this, but I did restock up on this because I love it so much, and it's really, really good for like hyperpigmentation and dark spots. And it's actually by the same skin clinic that I mentioned before, so they kind of definitely focus a lot on using great ingredients. So yeah, really, really love this one. So if I had to choose a serum from my Empties that I love the most, ta-da, it would be the Troiareuke AC Collection Blemish Spot Clearing Serum. This serum honestly was amazing. It's an affordable serum. The #1 ingredient is propolis, and it just did amazing for my skin, honestly, I think. And I've never really put a lot of attention on the AC collection from Troiareuke, so I was highly, highly impressed. Then we have our Ampoules. Well, there are only a few in here because, yeah. We're finally going into our Ampoules, and I realized that I forgot to mention this serum in my serum Empties category, but this one is basically the Bellflower Hibiscus Anti-Aging Serum, and this serum is actually a very beautiful and lightweight serum. I didn't necessarily see like a huge difference when it's related to like anti-aging, but I've only used it up for like a month, and I feel like when it comes to anti-aging products, you definitely want to use it for a longer period of time, maybe 3 to 6 months, to see like any big differences. But yeah, it was like a really good basic anti-aging serum. Now we can actually go to our Ampoules, and the first one that I will talk about is the Botamoa Repair Ampoule. Now I've actually talked about this in my, I believe, summer skincare routine from 2019, and I remember at the time I mentioned that it was just a very basic ampoule. I didn't see really much difference. Of course, it was hydrating and it helped with as a skin booster, but nothing really anything else difference with it. Like, I just didn't see anything that kind of made me feel impressed by it, but still it was a really good basic ampoule, and I've never really used much from this brand, so it was interesting to try out their ampoule. Now, of course, these two here are from Urang, and you guys know that I used to be one of their beauty ambassadors, and so I would use a lot of their skincare and like kind of try them out, review them, and I was very, very honest about it, and I still am honest about their skincare line. But can I just say, this ampoule, their Cica Soothing Ampoule, was probably one of the best ampoules I've used this year. Like, it was perfect. It literally was everything that I wanted in a relaxing, soothing type of ampule. It helped with my breakouts, it helped with calming my skin, it even helped just healing any hyperpigmentation or scars, and of course it helped with like brightening, and I just absolutely loved it. I remember, I believe they said it has like almost like what, 60 or 70% of Cica in it, which is a very, very large percentage, and I loved it. And another one that I really loved was also their Yuja Vita Ampule, and this one is actually focused more on brightening. So it does contain Yuja, which is kind of like a citrus fruit, and is really well known in Korean skincare for brightening purposes, very similar to like rice. And I thought this one was amazing. The texture is a very beautiful milky texture, and I'm just really sad that I don't have any more. Like I have a little bit left, but that's literally just like you know, like residue from the container that probably dropped to the bottom. But like I honestly just love this one. But girl, if you're looking for an amazing anti-aging ampule, girl, you gotta try this Isntree TW Real Bifesta Ampule. I love this one. Like I actually have another one in my makeup collection, or not makeup collection, skincare collection, my bad. And I honestly love this one so much. I could really see a big difference when it comes to like wrinkle care, just like the fine lines of my skin, as well as just brightening and making my skin look more healthy and youthful. And I love this one. It was a very watery texture, which I didn't mind because it felt very relaxing and soothing, especially like in the summertime. But I was so sad when I used it all up, and I definitely will restock on this one. And finally, we have the XSY Artichoke Intensive Skin Barrier Ampule, and I've already talked about this on my channel. I did a whole XSY based one brand skincare video, and I will definitely be very honest with you, this ampule is more focused for combination or oily skin. For my normal to dry skin in the winter and cold seasons, it didn't really do much for me just because it wasn't hydrating enough. And then for summer and like springtime where it's more warmer, it did help me somewhat, but I just felt like it was still not hydrating enough for my skin. So I would definitely recommend this more for like oily or combination skin. So for some reason, 2 of my clips didn't have any audio. I have no idea why. It's so strange, but luckily it was only 2 clips, so yes. But I basically talked about how Isntree Bifesta Ampule was my favorite ampule out of all of my empties, just because it worked really well for my skin, and I loved the anti-aging properties that it had. And of course, the formula, the texture, everything was just amazing, and I highly recommend it. Our next category is our moisturizers, and I have a massive amount of moisturizers, so this is going to take a while, okay? It's going to take a while. As you can see, I used a lot of moisturizers, cream, lotion, you name it, is right here. Now, usually in Korea, they call them creams, but I know that back in America, like they call them moisturizers, so it's really up to what you like to call it. Now here, first we have, of course, the Iunik Hyaluronic Cream, and I'm not going to go into detail of this because I already talked about it, but if you're looking for like a hyaluronic base cream, this is a good one to check out. And we have here is the Neogen and Joan Day and Joan Night Cream. I'm gonna be really honest with you. At first I was super excited to try it out just because I do like Neogen and I used to watch a lot of Joan's videos. So when I had the opportunity to try it out, I was super excited, but I was kind of disappointed because it wasn't necessarily what I was looking for. Now, as you can tell, I used up the day cream because I really did enjoy the day cream. It was a very beautiful texture, very smooth to the touch, and it just melted on my face. But here, the night cream actually kind of started breaking me out. It didn't really give me like massive acne or anything, but it was giving me these like tiny little white like whiteheads, almost like whitehead pimples, and a lot of people said that they did experience the same thing because of the lavender essential oil in it. And honestly, I'm okay with essential oils. Usually it doesn't bother me, but I don't know, this one was just clogging my pores up and giving me these small pimples. So yeah, that was a little bit disappointing. So I never really used up this part except for the few times that it broke me out. But if you're looking for like a dual purpose type of moisturizer, this one was amazing. This is the XSY Sarah Hart My Type Duo Cream. Now, something that's really special about this is that it actually has two types of cream for different parts of your face. So it has one side of the cream is for your U zone and another part of the cream is for your T zone. So if you have combination skin, it was actually a really good moisturizer. I'm kind of sad because I did run out of the U zone cream, so I'll show you if I can open it. As you can tell, I did use up all of the U-zone cream, but I do have a little bit left of the T-zone just because I use this mostly in the summer where my skin is more combination. But ever since the weather started to get colder, my skin sort of naturally just goes into a more normal to dry depending on the weather. So this one wasn't really useful for me now, but yeah, I actually really enjoyed this cream. Now, as you guys know, I really love my ceramide, and this ceramide here was awesome. This one was the Urang Rose Ceramide Cream, and I was really happy that I didn't really smell much of the rose just because I know I'm not a huge fan of rose, and they do use rose water in their cream, but this one was amazing. The ceramide in it, just everything about it was perfect. I love the texture. I love how it felt on my skin and what it did for my skin. So highly recommend it if you're looking for a more rose based ceramide cream. For a very long time I was obsessed with Huxley, and Huxley is just one of those brands where I feel like they should get more attention just because I really enjoyed their skincare line. Now I used two of their sunscreen. I used their anti-gravity and I used their Fresh and More. Now their anti-gravity I believe is the more thicker texture, whereas their Fresh and More is more of their like gel texture formula, and both of them are really good, especially if you're looking for like moisturizing anti-aging type of creams. And they tend to use a lot of like squalane and I believe some cacti something ingredient, I don't remember. But I actually really enjoy these two as well. If you're focused more on vegan skincare, then this is a skincare line that you could check out. It's the Korean Vegan Glow Good Morning Cream, and it's a very basic cream, but I think it focuses more on like the moral ethics of like vegan skincare. So if you're looking into that and that's what you're more focused on when it comes to skincare, then check this out. Now in 2020, probiotic skincare really just became the it ingredient. A lot of skincare brands were coming out with probiotic, and so of course I had to check it out, and I ended up trying the Holika probiotic cream, and I was really sad. Unfortunately, I feel like this one in specific just didn't work out for me because it was giving me this film, like it was leaving a film behind on my skin, and I just felt like my skin wasn't happy while I was using this. So I don't know, maybe it's just this one or maybe probiotic ingredients, I don't know. Maybe I'll give probiotic skincare a try again, but with a different brand, but this one just didn't work out for me. And another very basic but more type of a moisturizer would be the Lotus Revitalizing Cream. Now this brand focuses on using Jeju Island lotuses. If you don't know, Jeju Island is a small island that is part of South Korea, and they kind of call it the Hawaii of Korea, even though it does get cold in the winter, but that's a different story. But this one is their Jeju Lotus Leaf Revitalizing Cream, and they tend to focus on using lotuses in their skincare line. So this one was actually a really good moisturizing, basic moisturizing and anti-aging cream. I didn't see like massive difference while using this, but it didn't make my skin worse either. So yeah. At nighttime, I actually really enjoyed using the dr.jart Cica Pear Cream, and if you guys follow me for a while, you've probably seen this in a lot of my videos because I am obsessed with this. Like, as you could tell, like even the packaging is starting to like basically fall into pieces. It's like shredding and like falling apart, but I really love this cream, and I just felt like it was a great cream whenever I'm breaking out and I need something to help my skin overnight. So yeah, I'm really sad that I ran out. I definitely want to buy more of this because it was amazing. And finally, we have the oh so famous Fenty Skin, and this one is their moisturizer slash sunscreen, and I've used it all up. I was really sad because it was actually a really good sunscreen and moisturizer. I've talked about this in my Fenty Skin video, so check it out if you haven't. But yeah, it was like a really nice glowy type of moisturizer. I love that sort of like iridescent finish that it gave my skin, and it didn't break me out, it didn't make my skin feel sensitive or anything. So yeah, and I actually used it for like more than 2 months, so I really enjoyed it. So out of all of the moisturizers or creams that I used in 2020, I really fell in love with Urang's Rose Ceramide Cream. I've mentioned this before, I just really loved the texture, and of course ceramide does really well for hydration and moisturizing, and I was happy that the rose scent wasn't overbearing. I mean, of course it has like a rose scent, but it wasn't really a big deal, and I kind of got used to it. Final category, I am so hot and tired and my battery is gonna die soon, so we're gonna have to do this quickly. Now, I'm gonna be really honest, 2020 was the year where I definitely did not experiment with sunscreen. I just sort of stuck with what I liked, and that's it. So you're gonna see a lot of the same sunscreens because I just did not really experiment a lot. But first we have here the Panobagi Milk Thistle Repair Sunscreen, and these are basically moisturizing type of sunscreen. I really love this one, especially if you have dry skin in the winter. This is such an amazing sunscreen. I feel like a lot of sunscreens in Korea tend to be almost like moisturizer lotion type of texture, just because they're so creamy, lightweight, and I really like what this one does. Like, it gives me enough dewiness, but I don't look like I'm a grease ball or I'm melting, so it's like a perfect texture and finish for my skin. Now, if you have oily skin, most likely you might not like this just because it will make your skin look more shiny, but it really depends on your preference. And another type of like moisturizing dewy finish sunscreen would be the Keep Cool Soothe Bamboo Sun Essence. I call it a sun essence because of the texture. It's just so lightweight and almost like a lotion or a moisturizer. Super nice. I've used multiple, as you can tell, and I really love this even in the summer. Now, it might not be for everyone in the summer just because it's so like dewy finish, but personally I really liked it, and I was actually able to use this almost as my moisturizer. So in the summer, what I would do sometimes is I would just skip my moisturizer entirely and just go with these Keep Cool Sun Essence, and it was perfect. My skin was moisturized enough and I was protected. Now, on the other hand, if you're more on the like oily combination skin type, then this one would be a really good sunscreen. It is the XSY Complete No Stress Physical Sunscreen. Yes, I'm telling you, this is a physical sunscreen. Now, when you first try it out, you're gonna be really surprised because you feel like it's a chemical sunscreen just because of the like formula and how it feels on the skin, and it has no white cast, but it is actually a physical sunscreen. So it's a very like innovative formula, and I really enjoyed it. Now, I did talk about this in my XSY video, so check it out if you want more details. During the time that I tried to be experimental, I ended up giving this brand a chance, and it's the Lotus Jeju Botanical Sun Cream SPF 50, and all of my sunscreen here are SPF 50, by the way, if you're wondering. But yeah, this one was actually like a really good sunscreen as well. It did have a little bit of a white cast, and honestly, if I put a little bit too much on my face, I was looking like Casper, okay, Casper the Ghost. So definitely recommend putting not putting too much, and also make sure you let your skin sort of take up all of the products in before you apply the sunscreen, because I noticed whenever I was running late and I just applied it on top of my wet face basically from the other products, it was just not mixing well. So definitely recommend that if you decide to try this one out. And finally, we have the Cell Fusion Laser Sunscreen 100 SPF 50. Now this is actually a brand that a lot of skin clinics tend to use, because it's basically a laser skincare. So if you ever get laser done and you decide to put some skincare on top of your post laser treatment, then this is the brand that a lot of clinics tend to use. I've actually been to a clinic before where they did use the whole entire line on my face, so that's something to consider if you ever come to Korea or go to a skin clinic or a dermatologist. You might see this in their clinics. But this one was actually a really nice sunscreen. I've used this multiple times, more than twice actually. The only thing that might not be for everyone is the white cast. It does have like a brightening effect to it, which, I mean, depending on your skin type and your skin tone, it might work, it might not. So for me, I feel like this one worked really well in the summer or colder season where I'm pale AF. But it was okay for my skin, but it wasn't really like the best sunscreen for my skin when I had more of a tan. So yes. So if I had to choose one of my best sunscreens of 2020 amongst my empties, it would be Panobagi Milk Thistle Repair Sunscreen. I love this, honestly. I don't know, there's something about the texture of it. It works perfectly for my skin type, and it just makes my skin look nice. It doesn't mess up my other skincare routine. It doesn't have any white cast. It's very like transparent in application, and yeah, I just really loved it, honestly. It's definitely not for everyone, especially if you have more oily skin type. But if you have normal to dry skin type, then this one would definitely work a lot better for you. But I love this thing, honestly. Loved it. Guys, we are finally done. Oh my god, that's literally probably over 100 products, honestly. I'm so hot and tired and my back hurts. But I hope that you guys enjoy this best of skincare 2020 amongst my empties. But if you guys are interested in doing specific types of best of blah 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 videos, let me know. I definitely have some in plan. I want to talk about some of my best of cleansers of 2020, but if you want me to do like other categories, let me know. I'll definitely do that for you guys. As always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button. Hit me up on my Instagram and social medias. And I love you, diverse beauties, and I talk to you later. Bye!